There we go. So welcome. We are very excited about Watersedge. It's, I think, our fourth year there, and a very special moment for us is Watersedge in the season. At the end of August, everyone comes together. It is an absolutely glorious lake. If you've been there before, you're a lucky person. If you haven't, even lucky I get to see it for the first time on our event weekend. I'm Lucy, COO at Level Water. I'll be working on the weekend and also swimming, actually. I have a team, so I'll be swimming in between my shifts. And I've also got my wonderful colleagues today, and I'll hand over to them to do a quick intro.
Shall I go first? So
Go
I
for it.
am Angela and I am the event manager for this event. So I will be there and will be running around doing all the lovely event logistics. I will not be swimming, but I will be there on land supporting you all and looking after everyone.
Wonderful. Thanks, Angela. And I am Jasmine. I'm your fundraising coordinator at Level Water. And so, unfortunately, I won't be joining you at Water's Edge. I won't be there, but I'm there in spirit. And I'm obviously there in all of your wonderful fundraising emails. So, face to a name, finally, for those of you who've not met me yet. So, it's lovely to see you all.
Good.
Wonderful. Angela, I'll hand over to you now.
Yes, I'm just thinking I'm going to try and put the video on so it is. Give me 1 second. I was just going to put it on speaker view, which I can't see how to do that. So I'm just, if unless anyone remembers immediately, I shall just carry on. Will be good. If anyone doesn't want to be on a video that's shared with, obviously, as a replay to everyone else, all the other swimmers, then feel free to obviously turn your camera off, but you're just down the side at the moment. So it should be fine. Okie doke, let's get started. So welcome everybody. I will keep an eye out for new people joining as we go, but let's start off with some key event timings. Hopefully you've seen some of this already, but we have arrival is from 8 o'clock, so that's when the site opens. So please start arriving and setting up camp from 8 o'clock onwards. We'll get registration opened from 9 for you to come over and register individually. Every swimmer needs to come and register with us. And if you can make sure your first swimmer in your team has got their registration done by 11 o'clock so that we know that that first swimmer who's going to swim first is all ready to go, that would be fabulous. And then at 11:30, we will bring everyone together for the all swimmer briefing. So this is where we will go through all the safety in a bit more detail, how the handovers work, and everything to do with what's going to happen over the next 24 hours. And at that all swimmer briefing, if your first swimmer can be in their kit, ready to swim straight after the briefing, then that will help everything go like clockwork. And obviously, we then start at 12 o'clock. On the hour, every hour, just before the hour, we will start calling swimmers out of the water. And yes, calling swimmers out of the water, closing the lap so people can't start a new lap. The swimmer will come out of the water once they finish their last lap, find their new team member, hand over their relay baton in the form of a wristband to the next swimmer, and then the next swimmers will be all lined up ready to go into the water once we open, once we're happy that everyone from the previous hour is sort of round the lap. We'll then let the next people in for the next hour and they will start swimming. We will then repeat that every hour. And the only difference happens at 8 o'clock, everyone will be asked to start wearing lights. So you'll need two lights, a white one to go on the back of your head, on your goggles, and a coloured one to go in or on your toe float somehow so we can see which direction you're going and where you are in the lake and make sure everyone is very clear. So these should be solid lights rather than flashing ones. And also at 8 o'clock, we'll ask any spectators to leave the site so that we've only got swimmers on site overnight. And then those spectators can come back from about 6 a.m. to start cheering you on. And this carries on through till midday when we obviously have finished the 24 hours and we can celebrate. Just a note at the bottom. So if you haven't got lights at the moment, you probably only need one set per team because you can then, in the changeover, you can hand them on to the next swimmer in your team. So, toe floats. So this is something, if you've swum with us at any of our relays before, toe floats haven't been mandatory in the past, but we're making them mandatory for all swimmers. from this year onwards. So all the lakes we work with have a mandatory toe float policy, regardless of whether you're skins or wetsuits. So we are following their example and making sure we have mandatory toe floats for everyone. Really helps everyone remain visible and makes it much easier to sort of get the support if needed. The only thing to note on toe floats is that as long as our swim safety support are happy on the day, then we try and allow the full team to go and swim and enter the water together for the final hour. So if you are thinking you might want to do that in your team, then do plan toe floats around that because you'll need one for every swimmer. And it's fair, we are having toe floats and lights will be available to buy on the day. So if you have forgotten either of those, then obviously you can get them from us from the event HQ on the day. I'm going to hand over to Lucy now, who's going to talk a bit about camping.
Thank you very much, Angela. Great. So fantastic site, and I've got the site plan shortly, so I'll flash that on the screen where you can see where you will be camping in relation to the lake. But yes, we have a lovely camping area with our camper vans slightly behind, as you can kind of see in the picture. They are separated. They are in a different field. However, they are right next to each other in parallel. Camping will be in one space and camper vans in the other. Yeah, pack light, we've got 290 roughly, I think, swimmers, maybe probably breaching the 300 mark at some point. So please be considerate, pack light, share kit where possible, just to save space in the campsite. And yeah, I'm afraid no marquees or awnings, just because to make it fair for everybody, to make sure that everybody's got space for their tent and to sleep, we say please no marquees or awnings. At Watersedge, there's plenty of shade. We've got a kind of area where we've got our marquee, and then we've also got Watersedge have a nice space as well, which is also in the shade. So there are shady places if it's sunny, and also places to shelter if there are any rainfalls. Parking, cars will be parked in the parking field, so I'll flash on the site plan shortly where you'll see you're very near to the site in the parking field, but again, that will be in a separate field, so you won't be able to camp right next to your car. That's a safety feature, and to make sure that we can maximise the space camping next to the lake for everybody who's going in and out of the lake through the night. And then noise, just... Again, you're all very considerate people, so I'm sure we won't have anything to worry about, but just being mindful that people are on quite weird and random cycles throughout the journey. Some people are in teams of 3, some people in teams of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So some people are kind of maybe sleeping through the day and having kind of stranger sleeping patterns. So please be mindful that in the camping area, there may well be people who are sleeping when you're not. So just to be really mindful and thoughtful about noise in the camping area. In the event space, in the main event village, obviously there'll be people chatting pretty much through the night. So that's your area to go and chat and talk to friends, talk to your group, around the campfire, have a lovely time, have hot drinks, etc., etc. So yes, that is, I think, all on camping. And just so you've got a visual here of the site plan. Here it is. You can obviously see the lake there in the bottom left, wonderful lake. And luckily at Watersedge, woohoo, we have saunas, and they are right next to the lake, bookable through the lake themselves. So saunas and drinking water taps there, just at the kind of entrance. That little pink spot right in the middle, that's your kind of swim entry exit. And then, yes, you've got the camping area alongside the lake, very in parallel. The camper van's just above that in the field above, and the big parking area there on the right-hand side. I won't go through everything because we will do a bit of a kind of site tour on the briefing on the day, so you know where everything is. But yeah, just a little visual. This is where you'll be for the weekend. This is home for the weekend. Moving on to food and drink. So, as an event, we don't run food, so please do bring your own food. Pot noodles, porridge also work really well. We basically have hot water running throughout the whole entire weekend so that you can bring your kind of noodles, porridge, whatever you fancy eating through the night. Bring your own tea and coffee. We will have a kind of leave no trace policy, so please do take your rubbish away with you. It's just really crucial for us to leave the lake how we found it, to make sure that everybody is looking after things well. So we will have a kind of various bins and things here and there, but please do try and take as much away with you as you can. Otherwise, we have to take it all home on the van and dispose of it elsewhere. So please do be mindful of that. No fires or barbecues. It's been really dry, as you know, and this is probably, if you've been camping over the summer, something that you've heard of quite a lot. Please, no fires or barbecues. But if you do have, as displayed in the picture, something like that in which you want to bring and cook for yourself on a kind of safe surface, then please feel free to do so. I will say about Watersedge, there have been food vendors through the lake that have come, and that's organised through the lake. There may well be there this year as well. But from an event perspective, please just pack your own food, make sure you're catered for yourself, and then anything that the lake put on through the night or in the evening or sporadically through the day is a bonus. Then I think weather is the final slide. It's a little bit too far out to have a massively accurate forecast at the minute. However, we do really look at this in the days running up to the event. Our WhatsApp group is where we're going to kind of give information, suggestions on what to pack based on the weather forecast, probably around Wednesday before the event happens. So please keep an eye on that, and we'll update you if we recommend bringing either loads of sunscreen and hats or rain jackets and various other things to keep you warm. Cold weather, do prepare for all weather, because even when it's a really hot day, sometimes the evenings and the 2 a.m. swims, the 3 a.m. swims can get quite cool overnight. So please do bring warm clothes. A hot water bottle is always really popular. I often hear people at Wild Swim Relays say, I'm really jealous of the hot water bottles, or I wish I'd bought mine. We do actually have loads, and we'll bring some. So if you forget it, don't worry. But do bring your own if you fancy it. As I said, we have hot water urns going through the night, so you'll be able to fill that up whenever you want, especially after your swim, and maybe even get your team members to fill it up for you and wait for you at the end of the lake. So when you get out, you have a nice hot water bottle to keep warm. And then, yes, bad weather. So at all of our Wild Swim Relays and swim events, we obviously keep an eye out for the weather. If there's any high winds, heavy rain or thunderstorms, lightning specifically on the day, there may be a chance that we need to suspend swimming due to this, to wait for it to leave before we start up again. It is something, obviously, we try and avoid at all costs to make sure that you get that full 24-hour swim. However, that may need to happen for safety purposes, but we'll let you know as soon as possible. That WhatsApp group that we've set up, it's a really handy group to be on the event weekend, because if there's any kind of urgent messages that we need to get out about, sadly we'll have to pause for the next hour and just wait for this storm to pass. The WhatsApp group will be where we kind of throw those messages through. So make sure that you do join, and we invite your team members to join, and make sure at least one person or a couple of people from your team are on it. Kit list, right? Yes, at the bottom there, we have a wonderful kit list online. So I think my wonderful colleague Jasmine is putting the links on the side. So the information page has a kit list in it. If you scroll down, you can see kit list. There's a suggested list of things that you should bring, or we've kind of honed it through the years and listened to people about what they suggest. We recommend to people to bring. So do have a look at it. It's a good list, a good solid list. Don't feel like you have to bring everything, but it's certainly a helpful one to have one or two things between you as a team.
Fab, thank you, Lucy.
Very well.
I'm just going to carry on now with a couple of other sort of more logistics things. So firstly is lovely volunteers. So our volunteers are a really key part of the team, and they really play a vital role in making these events successful and helping people feel friendly, welcoming faces. So all our volunteers have either got pink or yellow high-vis vests on. So if you ever need anything, you need to know where something is, you need some help, you need support, you need a hug, you need to go to the medics, then just find one of the volunteers and they will help you. We would love for every team, if they can, to supply a volunteer for a shift during the whole event. So we do have a link to a sign up form, which hopefully has gone into the chat, which just gives you an opportunity to sign up for a chunk of time over the course of the event if you would like to. You don't have to be there for the whole time. If you're swimming in the middle of a session of an event of a volunteer slot, then obviously go off and swim and then come back and help out again. But the link to the volunteer sign-ups has all the different jobs we're looking for and times, and what's available to volunteer for at different points during the weekend. And then, importantly, well-being and safety. So first thing to say about this, in terms of accessibility requirements, Ben is in the events team. If anyone has said they've got any specific accessibility requirements, then Ben should have already been in touch. If not, he's doing that over the next couple of days. But if you've got any questions about anything like that, then do email swim@levelwater.org and Ben or one of us will get back to you with any questions you've got around that. Sickness. This is never a nice conversation to have, but if you've had any symptoms, sickness, diarrhea, stomach bugs, anything nasty in the sort of 48 hours before the event, then we do ask you to stay at home. We really don't want that coming to the event and being passed around hundreds of people who are camping close to each other. So yeah, do think of others and don't come along if you've been unwell. If you are there, then obviously we have lots of hand washing facilities throughout the site. Please do use them frequently and let's, try not to have any issues with sickness. Secondly, in terms of heart conditions, if anyone's been diagnosed with a heart condition since buying their ticket, then please do not swim unless you have your doctor's approval to do so, because we definitely don't want any medical issues like that coming up during the course of the weekend. But generally on health and well-being, we're all here together. We're one big team. We're looking after each other. You're looking after each other. Just look out for everyone. If you see somebody when you're swimming or not swimming and they look a bit cold, then just go and make sure they're okay. Suggest people go to the medical tent. We've got a fantastic medical team on site that will look after everyone. But yeah, let's just keep everyone's health and well-being as a priority over the course of the whole weekend. And lastly, this is just all the links that hopefully we've been sharing. I think I've seen them in the chat signing up there. We've got the fundraiser hub, which Jazz will come on and talk about it soon. We've got the event information with all the kit lists. We've got the volunteer sign up form, and then we've got the WhatsApp group. So if you or anyone in your team is not joined that yet, then do please join that. So I think that's all we were going to say. If anyone has got any questions, then feel free to add them to the chat or to raise hands or even just to unmute and shout at us. I think there's only 10 of you here at the moment live. So if you've got any questions, then now is your chance, your opportunity to ask them and we can get them answered.
How many people will be in the water for each hour? Will that be around 50 or so?
It will be around the number of teams, which I do not have right in front of me. Maybe somebody else has.
Just
But yes, it will be about 40 or 50, I think. I don't have that.
So, yes, we have about 66.
66, there you go. That's very precise.
Roughly, we have 66 teams and solos, though. So, yes, we will likely have, a few people not showing up. But yes, it'll be around 60 in the water at any one spot.
Right. And will there be a warming tent?
We do have a warming tent.
Very good.
Yeah, and it gets quite busy, obviously overnight, and making sure that wetsuits are dry and things. But yes, it will be there.
Very good. Very good.
Hi, sorry, it's Nigel Payton. So obviously you start, everyone's going to swim at slightly different speeds. You said you sort of say to everybody when you get near the end of the first hour, stop. So do you just wait for everyone to finish that? I think it was a 400-meter loop, is that right? And then you wait until everyone's out and then you start again. Is that what happens?
So yes, roughly. Sorry, no, go on, Lucy. You've been there.
Yeah, that's spot on. So effectively, when you're going around in the circle, you will be very much guided by our water safety team, who will be in the water at all times with you. When it comes to around kind of 10 to, they'll assess and they'll kind of basically let you know if you're just about to start another round. They'll suggest that you don't have enough time to get around before the hour, so to kind of hang in and wait to leave the lake and then hand over to your next swimmer. So you'll be very much guided by the water safety team. But it will be around 10 to, and overnight we will have, as you go into the water, our tent will be there, and at the start of that swim we'll have green lights. So you are swimming at 2 a.m, there'll be green lights around the tent. You'll swim, and then at 10 to the hour we'll change those lights to red, so you know, and you have a visual warning that it's 10 to the hour and I should be kind of wrapping up my swim.
That's perfect, thanks, because most of our team actually swim there just in the day, just go and do the swimming session, so it's just good to know the slight changes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It does just mean, it means that, like, for some of your hours you may swim for 50 minutes, some hours it might be an hour and 5, because you might just sneak round, just before the hour and then get an extra lap in. So yeah, it will vary by hour. Martin has asked in the chat about whether you can put your tow float, your lights inside or on your tow floats, and I've said it doesn't matter either way. Either in or on your tow float is fine for your coloured light. So as long as we know where your tow float is in the dark.
Perfect.
Sorry, well, a question about those. So if we might have more tow float lights, but if we've only got one or so headlight torch, there is an option to swap that to somebody else rather than everyone having one, isn't there? I think you said.
So you'll need one white light for your head, one coloured light for your tow float, and you can swap the pair of them to your next person during the changeover.
Right.
So you only need one pair of lights.
Thank you.
Perfect. Kerry has said, where do visitors park?
Yeah, in the same car park as the swimmers. It's a nice big field, plenty of space, and then we have accessible parking. And again, as Angela mentioned earlier, Ben is available to chat through if you need any accessible information. But we do have accessible parking that's separate to that field. Do email swim@levelwater.org if you need any assistance there.
Fantastic question from Dan. Do you want to take this one, Lucy?
How illuminated will the lake be during the night? Will it be easy to see where we swim? Well, we have some very exciting new lit up buoys, which we are very excited about. So there will be 3 bright yellow and pink lit up buoys that are basically showing you your course. Our water safety team will also have vests on at night, so they have water safety vests so that you know exactly where our water safety kayakers are at all times. And then obviously your lights, so your tow float lights and your headlights will be lighting up the lake, though that's the extent of the lights at night time. So it's lovely enough to kind of really feel like you're swimming in wild nature in the middle of the night, but lit up enough that you feel safe, that there's things going on around you and there's people looking out for you.
Jo has raised her hand.
Oh yeah, hi. Yeah. Just looking at the kit list, it says about having a whistle. What type of whistle do we need, and what's that for?
Mm.
I'm not entirely sure where that's coming.
It says tow float lights and whistle under swimming things. But if you don't know, we obviously don't need it, so that's fine. Thank you.
Some tow floats will come with a whistle, but I have to say the lights are the thing that you need with your tow float.
Okay, thanks.
We have whistles for safety reasons, but you don't need to bring a whistle.
Yeah.
Thank you for spotting that, Jay.
Yes, I will check those.
For the handover with the swimmers, what is the handover? Is there a timing band or something, or a wristband or an ankle band?
Yes, it's a bright pink wristband.
Right.
That you have one per team.
That's it. Your captain will get that wristband basically at registration, or the first person that registers will get that pink wristband. And then that pink wristband will be your relay baton. So you won't be allowed in the water until you show the volunteer that pink wristband.
Okay.
So that's the thing that kind of lets us know that your team member's out safely and you're going in. If at any point a team member loses a wristband, we'll just have to make sure that you're all accounted for, all out of the water. Then we're happy that that's the case, and then we can give you a new wristband.
Does it record any distance or anything, or is it just no? Okay.
Sadly, not. You'll have to do your own watch to record your distances, I'm afraid.
No problem.
We've got a couple more questions here. So, will there be merchandise that can be purchased? Oh, yes, there will. We have some fabulous t-shirts and hoodies that will be available to purchase. Oh, somebody's just arrived. 1 second. Let me just admit them. So, yes, they'll be there on the day. Do come and grab them. It's not unlimited. So, come and get your size when you check in at registration. And Rachel has asked, what exactly is a warming room? So we have one of our tents, which has closed sides, and then it has heaters in there. So it's a 6 meter by 3 meter tent. And it has heaters. It has some scatter cushions and things to sit on. And it's just a nice place if you don't want to go back to your tent to just go in and go somewhere that's nicely heated up and help you re-warm after a swim. If that is all good for questions, what I'm going to do is hand over to Jazz to talk us through a bit of a fundraising update. And let me get new slides.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Angela. And yeah, I mean, it's so lovely to see all of you here in the call, obviously. And thank you again for joining us. It's always nice for me, especially, to put faces to names, considering I spend so much time emailing you, as I said before. So yeah, it brings me a lot of joy to see you. Just while Angela is getting those slides up, I can't see those at the minute, Angela. I don't know if that's just me. But I will just kind of start talking through. That's okay. Don't worry, Angela. But yes, I'm really excited because I think, as has been mentioned, our Wild Swim relays are kind of the greatest celebration in some ways of our level water community. So many people working together in a team. It's Glastonbury swimming. It's really great, kind of festival energy. And so, yeah, really excited for you guys to take part in it. And also, I'm really excited and delighted to be the person who can kind of help you day to day maximize your impact and maximize kind of the extent of your fundraising. And so, as you all know from my kind of many fundraising emails to you all, every stroke you take is funding one-to-one swimming lessons for children with disabilities. And you're kind of opening up a lifetime of freedom, confidence, and joy in the water through the fundraising that you're doing. And so what's incredible is kind of when you start to put that into context for this event, you've kind of collectively together raised almost £16,500 so far. And so when you account, ticket fees, the rest of it on top of that, that's a whopping kind of 1,540 swimming lessons for disabled children in your communities. So thank you so much already. So now I've got the honour of doing a bit more kind of background about Level Water. And so Ian started Level Water in 2012. So it started at one pool in Putney. And now, kind of 14 years later, thanks to people like you, we have over 1,500 children swimming at over 250 pools, which is absolutely awesome. But at the same time, for all of that rapid growth, demand for our services is kind of far greater, and there's still a lot left for us to do. So our waiting list has grown to 8,000 children, and it is still rising. And so kind of worth knowing, like, of the kids on our waiting list, kind of roughly 4 out of 5 of those children are not able to meet physical activity guidelines. And nearly half of those who have tried to access lessons have had to attempt to do so 3 or more times. So it's really, really critical kind of what we're doing here. Those mainstream group lessons often don't meet disabled children's needs, and private one-to-one sessions can be incredibly expensive or simply unavailable. So with your help, what we're doing is building a future where every child gets an equal opportunity to play, move, grow, do all of those wonderful things through swimming. So in terms of your fundraising, the next couple of weeks is when we tend to see things really, really take off. So we tend to see a really big spike in donations just before your swim. So now is really the time to get your asks out there. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everyone how the training's going. Share a little video if you feel confident to, or if you can. I mean, you might have seen from my emails the kind of, very informal video that I put together to kind of demonstrate what you can do. And so it really doesn't have to be polished at all. Just speak from the heart people really, really respond to that. As mentioned with your fundraising messaging is personal, it's really easy. And once you've written one message and sent it to a handful of people, you'll be really, really amazed at how far you can get. So other really quick wins is just making sure your just giving page is up to date. So a really quick post or a thank you message to your supporters so far just keeps that momentum going. It lets people know that you're really engaged, and we find that the more people share, the more support they have rolling in. As mentioned as well, the Fundraiser Hub is a really, really great resource, and we've got loads of bits you can use on there. So from videos, photos, real stories, even some reels that we filmed at some of the pools. And so get those out to your friends, families, colleagues. It's just a really quick way to tell people why your swim matters. So yeah, don't forget about that resource. The link is in the chat, so please do use that. And if you've not had your first donation yet, one really great way to start is just by popping £15 in there on your own page. £15 is what it costs for one swimming lesson. And so it shows people that, you're in, you really believe in what you're doing and what we're doing here. And it often encourages people to follow suit as well. And what's really awesome is that Vivo Barefoot will also match that first £15 donation. So just like that, you've already funded 2 life-changing swimming lessons. So that's some really quick tips and advice, but I mean, if you ever need anything, I'm here. I'm at fundraise@levelwater.org. So you can literally drop me a line and ask me anything. But kind of before we wrap up, I'd really love to finish with a little story. And I'd love to tell you about a special young man called Suvir. So Suvir is 9 and he lives with muscular dystrophy, a condition which gradually weakens his muscles. But in the water, something really, really incredible happens. He lights up. You can see it in his whole body. And so when his mum, Tanvi, found out about Level Water, she really wanted him to have a space where he could move, build strength, and just be a child free from limits. So what we did is we paired Suvir with one of our teachers, Emma, and she designed every session just for him. So it's 50% swim lesson, 50% physio, and 100% pure joy. And so that bond that Emma and Suvir have is amazing. He's laughing, confident, playful, and afterwards his mum told us that friends who hadn't seen him in a really, really long time could not believe the difference in him. So outside of the pool, life is challenging. Tanvi's preparing to become his full-time carer. They're searching for an accessible school, and thinking about ways to adapt their home. So if you put that into context of then kind of in the water, that 30 minutes a week, everything lifts. He's not defined by what he can't do, and he's free. And so Tanvi said that if she could, she would build a pool in their back garden just to keep giving him that joy. And so that is the power of what you're all doing. Your fundraising gives families like Suvir's that joy, that freedom, and ultimately that hope. So thank you so, so much, truly from all of us. Your fundraising obviously does have a numerical value, but for the families that we work with, it's absolutely priceless. And so, yeah, just a massive thank you. We'll obviously see you all soon down at the lake. I'm so sorry I can't be there again, but I will be there in spirit. And yeah, I know the team absolutely can't wait.
Definitely.
And yeah, if anyone has any fundraising questions now, obviously feel free to ask them. But if not, fundraise@levelwater.org is where you can reach me.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jazz. What I'm going to do is stop the recording now. I'm going to do that now.